So now we are live. I'm just sharing the link with all of you first, then we'll start the session. So good afternoon, one and all.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It is well aware that today India is celebrating National Science Day. So on this special occasion, IIMT University is launching the lecture series on entrepreneurship and innovation. And this is a matter of great happiness that the Department of Biotechnology, School of Life Science and Technology, IIMT University, in collaboration with Industry 5.0, is going to organize an online international talk on Industry 5.0 and global impact. This is the first lecture of the series of entrepreneurship and innovation, and certainly it will also fulfill the SDG goal 7. That is energy conservation, SDG goal 6 also, that is water and sanitation, and there are so many SDG goals which are fulfilled by this particular, by organizing this event, an international event. So on this occasion, I am giving my sincere regards to Dr. Deepa Sharma Madam, Vice Chancellor Madam, and Chairperson of Business Incubator and IPR Cell of IIMT University. In her esteemed leadership, university is gaining height day by day, and due to her vision, IIMT University is placed in top 4 universities in IIC ranking in India. I welcome Dr. Navneet Sharma, Sir, Dean, School of Life Science and Technology, for all-round support or for organizing this international event. And I welcome today's eminent speaker, Mr. Michael Rada, and I welcome you, sir, in this international talk. I welcome Deputy Dean of School of Life Science Technology, Dr. Mukta Sharma, all the faculty members of different departments of IIMT University, all my dear students of IIMT University, also from other universities, institutes, and colleges. Here I am giving the brief profile of the School of Life Science and Technology, IIMT University. The School of Life Science and Technology consists of 4 departments, that is Department of Biotechnology, Department of Microbiology, Department of Botany, Department of Geology, and offers undergraduate degree courses in biotechnology, microbiology, geology, botany, and postgraduate degree courses in respective departments. Doctoral degrees in the field of biotechnology, microbiology, geology, and botany are also available in the university. The School of Life Science has a diverse community that increasingly works across boundaries and forges extensively to create skilled human resources. And it is the major school of IIMT University and provide the best research and solutions to the environmental issues and environmental problems. For an opening remark, I would like to invite our respected Dean, Sir, Dr. Navneet Sharma, sir. Sir, we are waiting for your words.
Thank you, Shubha ma'am. First of all, I would like to congratulate the HOD of Department of Biotechnology, Dr. Shubha Dwivedi, for organizing such a wonderful event. I welcome Mr. Michael Rada, who is the eminent guest speaker of today's event. And the topic is very vibrant topic. That is the SDG Goal 7, Sustainable and Clean Energy. You are welcome, sir, on this online platform at IIMT University. On behalf of all the members of IIMT University, I again welcome you. The thing comes why we are talking about or why we are organizing the lectures and the talks on sustainable goals. What is the need of doing all these things? If we talk about sustainable goal 7, that is affordable and clean energy, we find that everything is based on energy. And if we don't conserve energy, if we don't make our energy clean today, then definitely tomorrow our health sector, our agriculture sector, our transportation will all be collapsed. So it is the need of today's era that we must talk on this and we must act on this. How can we act it? There are very minute things by which we can save our clean energy, like switching off the boards, sharing the pods. These all are the things by which we can do all these things. I'm just briefing it because our eminent speaker is the expert of this, so he will give you all the guidelines for this SDG 7. And you know what is the targets of SDG 7 till 2030? Till 2030, the UNO as well as India has set some targets. So we all have to work to achieve those targets so that we can achieve our target as well as we can become self-sufficient in the form of clean and sustainable energy. And the clean energy would be solar energy, wind energy, and thermal energy. So I don't take much time, Mr. Michael Rada, and again, welcome you to please carry on your talk so that all the participants get enlightened with your thoughts. Thank you very much, and welcome.
Thank you so much, sir. I am presenting the brief profile of Michael Rada. He is from Czech Republic in the middle of Europe, in the city called Pilsen, which is a place where even the personal bravery is situated. His background, it is almost 30 years in logistics. He is specialized in supply chain efficiency and in the innovation of the supply chain. In the last few years, he concentrated 100% on the aim of building a wasteless world by preventing waste to happen. He has realized in this long business experiences that no matter where he worked, a lot of waste is being created and nobody cares about it except the waste companies. This is the statement which I am reading. I have taken out from the website. So with this thought, he provided a new concept to global community, that is Industry 5.0. So Michael Rada is known as the father of Industry 5.0. And today he will discuss the state of waste prevention in the corporate sphere. And Michael brings up a variety of interesting points to consider. So make sure to tune in for this spirited discussion for next 1 hour. So Michael, you are welcome for your presentation.
Thank you very much for the invitation. And I'm truly honored to be firstly, on the ground of your university, even virtually. But the second, that you choose me to be the first speaker on the Science Day, which is in India. You know, I'm not a scientist. I'm not academic. I started my career as a steel factory worker, and I spent most of my time in a boiler suit. Yesterday, I was the whole day in a factory. And I do implement the knowledge which I generated throughout the years. And this is why we will speak and we will talk about all the topics which has been mentioned. And we will do it right now and together. And I call myself presentation this time Industry 5.0, the Garage Academy. And one was not said. My name is Michael Rada, but on my business card, you will find only one title. This is human. And at the same time, I'm the founder of Industry 5.0. But before we start, let me show you that there is no coincidence, because instead of coincidences, we are living in a time of evolution. At the beginning of the month, there was in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, hit the lighting, the famous statue of Jesus. One day later, we received this image. It was sent from Mars. And the day which followed, I hold my 399th keynote delivered to university. That was at the beginning of the month. Right now, we are at the end of the month. And I'm speaking at your event. And in 14 days, I will have a keynote speech on the largest industrial conference in India. There is no coincidence. This is the result of 10 years of work. And despite the fact that I do not have any academic education myself, I will start today's presentation with the most famous, world-famous formula by Albert Einstein. This formula in physics means energy equal mass times speed of light squared. And it was generally for the first time, it sounds in 1905, 118 years ago. But are you sure that this is the only explanation? Is it really only physics which can benefit from this explanation? I don't think so. And this is why we came with another explanation. And it is the first time in 118 years that somebody does something like this. For example, in a business, efficiency is equal management times competency squared. But it's not all. What about the economy? In economy, it means money times corruption squared. Or in environment, man times competency squared. But we are here because we would like to talk about the future, and for the future is a very important part. It is the education. And in education means the man times consistency squared. And I will explain what I mean. But before I do so, I would like to ask you two questions. The first one is who we are. And before I do that, just about the coincidence, I presented this new meaning of the formula on Friday, 3 days ago. The next day, Elon Musk, for the first time in his Twitter history, he posted this post, which has today 82 million views. But coming back to the questions are who we are, because we carry many titles. We are managers, president, chairmen, we are students. We are producers, teachers, fathers and mothers. With every single title, we forgot one, that we are human beings, living ones, not like this man on country art of pills and brewery. And if we do realize who we really are, we have to ask a second question. Where do we live? Because we live in beautiful cities like Rublet, like Pilsen, this is the building which I'm talking to you from, like Paris, like Brussels. We are living in beautiful cities which we filled with trash. We work in factories which produce in one day more trash than a city in a month. We produce products which frequently, before reaching the end user, become trash as well, and we store them in big metal houses filled with air, asking for more big metal houses to be built to store our trash inside. And at the end of our shift, we leave next to output of our production and we arrive home. And maybe we realize that something what was called food before is called bio-waste today. And we look at the red sky above our head, asking ourselves, where do we live? And I will answer this question to you and much more today. Maybe you ask yourself, what is Industry 5.0? It is not the fifth industrial revolution. In fact, it is the first industrial evolution ever led by man, by human. It's built on the principles of systematic waste prevention, and it recognizes 5 types of waste: physical, social, urban, process, and a very special one, wasting of time. And what is interesting, that we can prevent all these types of waste to happen. And I do it since 2013 already, so for 1 decade. I have mentioned that we will speak about GAR H Academy, and the name is familiar to you for sure, because it consists of 2 languages. we came to the concept of Garage Academy together with the world first Industry 5.0 ambassador, who was assigned in India on October 14th, 2020. So it will be 3 years. And what it means? Gar is in Hindi and means home. Is in English and means time. Because we have to value both together, not giving one in favor to the other. Because this is how we can build waste as well. This is how all the 17 SDG goals can be filled. Because we can reach them if we do not waste. The Garage Academy is a very special concept because it put together the real life of business and the academics. It brings together the students and the workers. It brings together much more than two silos because it breaks the silos down. It turns our life through transparency, profit sharing, and efficiency in a one global ecosystem. It helps us to go from wasteful to wasteless in all what we do. And whom it concerns? Everyone. Every single one of us, every single industry, every single person waste in some way. So if it's so, we can prevent waste happen in all of them. And this is why Industry 5.0 becomes so strong. Maybe you ask yourself, what is the existing reality? And I will tell you that. I was born on December 24th, 1971. At the day our planet was called Blue Marble. But a few years ago, in 2019, the planet was not blue anymore. It was covered with environmental damage. And then something very strange happened because the blue face of our planet showed up again in 2020. And it was here for 2021, and then it starts to disappear again. The reason for showing was not that we changed intentionally our behavior, but because a virus locked us down. We are living on a planet around which we have been able to create a landfill with 170 million pieces of space debris, plus 870,000 pieces, which are bigger than 10 centimeters. We are living on a planet in which we dig inside, hunting for only criteria of success, which is more money, more companies, more titles, more people, more cars. Ask Fortune 500 members how they get to the ladder. Ask Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, and many more. We are living on a planet together with 8 billion people already, not knowing that 200 years ago it was just 1 billion. And 100 years later means 100 years back from now, it was just 1.5 billion, which means in the last century, we have increased the global human population 5-fold. And in 2050, some predicts there should be 11 billion people living on the planet. And just now, please remember the last image I showed you. We are living on a planet in 206 countries, according to UN 193. We are speaking 7,000 languages. We are riding 1 billion cars. And we let every year 9 million people die hungry, despite the fact that only every single day, more than 23 million tons of food and crop is being wasted every single day. We let 800,000 people die thirsty every single year, despite the fact that only California crude oil industry consume every single day more than 347 million liters of drinking water. We are planting our food to throw it away because the leaves are not green enough for the buyer in a chain store. We put our overproduction, and this image came from India. We put it in the rivers and on the landfills, not to spoil the market price. We carry our water in firefighting tanks, not knowing that the same amount of water is needed to produce just one and simple hamburger. And we do it on a planet on which one sip of water can save not one, but 2 lives. We store the packaging in factories on the parking lots for employees waiting till it becomes waste. We run factories which has walls lined with environmental certificates, and behind the wall a landfill is created. We throw away in a garbage products which are not perfect for one, but can serve well hundreds and thousands of others. We listen to the words of World Bank, which predicts that till 2050, the waste volume should increase. In some destination, it should even double. Despite the fact that almost everything can be reused or repurposed again, it is in the same report written that only 13.5% is being repurposed. And this is what makes the waste industry the third most profitable industry in the world, following the war industry and the crude oil industry. This is why I am so happy you are right now the part of the transformation process. Because in the school and education, it means that the teachers and students communicate and co-create the education content and lessons. Juniority and seniority meet, accept, and learn from each other. Not the theory, but the practice together will build up the skills. In Garage Academy, the leaders are being grown, not those who lead just by having more money, more power, or more influence. Material and economical sustainability from start helps the Garage Academy to grow. Curiosity, creativity, openness, loyalty, humanity are the principles to follow, and there is only one title which all graduates will carry, and this is human. Some people ask me what are the costs of the change, and I have to tell you something. Transformation is not a matter of cost, but the will to change. Change the mindset from wasteful to wasteless. And the only question is if you would prefer to generate waste or profit. I was asked by the advisor of the US president to tell him how much money will cost if Industry 5.0 principles will be implemented on a national level. I spent the time, provided a number. And later I have learned that the same amount is needed to be paid by any country, including India. The price is $1 per citizen per year in a duration of 10 years. No more, no less. This is the value which, if invested properly, will deliver the change and turn the countries and the globe back into the blue marble image. Because if we would like to prevent the waste happen, we have to break the silos. It must be led by humans, not machines. And the humans must be supported by governments. We have to cut our addiction on technology and power. And here we come to the topic which was just discussed in the SDG, which was named. Because no matter how many power stations we will build, or which kind of power station, if we do not change the way how we behave and how we consume the power, if we do not stop wasting with the power, it will never be enough. And I think that very few of you know that 65% of the power energy generated by a power station is generally being lost during the transmission. So already here, we are losing more than half of everything what we produce. We make one big mistake in the past. We built our future on a top of pyramids, considering that the pyramids are here to help us in the future, but in fact, we did not realize that the pyramid has not been built for the living ones to live inside, to store corpses inside. I realized that more than a decade ago, and I decided we need another ground stone, more stable one, a ground stone on which the future can be built, and if the world will shake, it will remain stable. And I call it 6R instead of 3R. How does it work? Firstly, we have to realize that something must not become waste. And trust me, that's not an easy task if you throw the thing in the garbage before. But the second step is even harder, because you have to reconsider what to do with it. And before the third step, you will probably fail for the first, second, third time, but then you will succeed. And at that moment, you will start to change the world, because you will be the one who change it with the power of touch. I was asked many times in the 10 years, Mr. Rada, is there any value of systematic waste prevention on a global scale? Yes, it is. We need 5 years to calculate this number. 475 trillion US dollars a year can be saved if we prevent waste happening. And that was in 2019. But this number is no more valid, unfortunately, because right now, since last year, it is already 1 quadrillion US dollars. Why? You know, the reason is the war in Ukraine, because not a single bullet will be recovered, and not a single human life lost can be recovered. I spent 8 years of my life to write legislation, one and only page, waste prevention framework. In the meantime, I published over 3,000 articles. I made many keynotes, but this document took me 8 years to write. And it is important to understand that there is no waste if we do not waste. And you can check, but not a single legislation in the world and not a single legislation in a history of mankind define how waste is being created, the process. So it must be part of this legislation. And again, it is important to understand that wasting is not a feature of a product or material, but it is the result of human behavior. And single use is one of the most common forms of wasting. I mentioned at the beginning, there are 5 waste categories: physical waste, which we know as trash; social waste, which are people and animals, which cannot live meaningful lives; urban waste, empty buildings, factories, flats, in the cities where people have no roof above their heads; process waste, which, for example, manage to run more than 55% of a shipping containers all around the globe filled just with air; and the wasting of time, which is a very special one, because not a single second of our life can be recovered. Industry 5.0 is the first industrial evolution ever led by man, by human. It's a new mindset of people and businesses, from wasteful to wasteless. It delivered the result without the need of capital investment, and is based on the principles of systematic waste prevention, utilizing the rich on-the-ground mines, which we will discuss in a discussion after this keynote. And it's based on transparency, profit sharing, and efficiency. And please understand one very important point. If somebody tells you that Industry 5.0 is the 5th industrial revolution, he or she is lying. If somebody tells you that Industry 5.0 is a robot technology, he or she is lying and does not know about it. because Industry 5.0 is not a buzzword. It's a global ecosystem which started to grow on December 1st, 2015 already. We are living in the times when our work was digitalized. You are living in the times where your education was digitalized from one day to another. And our leisure time was digitalized a long time ago. So it looks like that the only thing which needs to be digitalized is human himself. But if we do so, our home will look like this. And this is not a mistake of connection. No, data don't need any light. And I discovered that a long time ago. And I decided I do not want to live on the bottom of a black hole. And I started to build another world, wasteless world. And this is what I do. And don't worry, I'm not alone. My name is Mike Rada. I am a human. And at the moment, there are 111 Industry 5.0 ambassadors and many Industry 5.0 heroes who help 91% of global population to understand that every single one of us can prevent waste happen. And that's all, because this is the presentation I have for you, because I would like to discuss right now and to show you clear examples on how our behavior can change the way how the world will look like. Because there is only one person responsible for the future of yours. And this person you can meet when you look in the mirror. Nobody else. And you know, as I said at the beginning, I do not have academic education myself. I spent most of my time in factories dressed in boiler suit. But I have the ability to build up global ecosystem because of my knowledge, which I collected with more than 23 years as an employee. And with 42, I start my own business with one and only aim, to build wasteless world for all. There was mentioned at the beginning that we should talk about the energy, and I do fully agree, because energy is everywhere. It's even inside of us, helping us to understand each other. In Industry 5.0, we may speak English, but the language which we are using is the language of energy. We call it the language of efficiency. And why energy? Because what you hear, it's spoken by my heart and received by your heart. And heart is energy. At the beginning of 20th century, there was only one power station in the world. Today, there is more than 2,500 of those. But as I said, if we do not change our behavior, there will be never enough energy. So I hope there will be some questions if possible. I hope there will be discussion, but I know that you are watching on YouTube, so I don't know if you can put your questions there. If not, let me show you some examples how we change the world. Let me start with a piece of India here in my hand. This is the only piece of India or of the material made in India, which is in Europe, and it's in my office. You know, it is a construction material. It's a flexible. And what is interesting, it's made out of the dangerous waste from Indian hospital. It's waterproof, it's bug-proof, it's fire resistant. And generally, currently in India, there is made furniture out of it, roofs, floors of the buses, and much more. This is a very similar material, but this one was produced in Czech Republic, and it's made of Tetra Pak, which is the packaging for fluids usually, for milk, for example, in Europe, or juices, and combined with single-use plastic, so bottles and so on. But if I speak about the single-use, when the people come and visit me here in my office, they see that I drink from a single-use bottle, and they say, Mr. Rada, are you crazy? You are having here single-use bottles. Yes, I do. And there is one reason, because it is not a single-use bottle for me. And this is one of the principles which can help you to make your things and your future better. Because if you drink from this bottle and you make it empty, why shouldn't you refill it again? So think once, use twice, but you can refill it again and again. And I make here test. I have here a bottle which is 6-year-old, and I fill it with the water for my flowers. And the bottle is still fine. It's not so clean, but the flowers are fine because they need water. And this is the way how we can work. This is the way how the science, in one way, can help the future. You have seen at the beginning, I used the most famous formula. Everybody know it, but very few know the real meaning of that. But if we have it in our heads, why not to make from this formula one of the on-the-ground minds? And I'm sure if Albert Einstein will be sitting here, he will enjoy this, because it was his aim to change the world with the work he was passionate about. And I'm very sorry that it took so long, but you know, I am not a scientist, and I use one on-the-ground mine after another. Here is another example. You see, here's a beautiful fashion accessory, just to compare how big it is. So I do not have so small head, so it's quite big. But will you judge what is made from? It's quite hard. And these are to use bags of potato chips. And the methodology is 400 years old because it's called origami, which is popular even in India. But of course, the people, when they invented, they have only paper or leaves, but we have special materials. And this is if you turn the potato chips bags, not upside down, but so from the inner out, let's say, you have this material because and many of the potato chips are lined with aluminum foil, because this is for to increase the length, it's so-called shelf life generally of the product. So it is here, and there are much more. So it is on us to do so. It is on us to use the system which we have developed, but build it up. We shouldn't stand just on the level that somebody says something few hundred years ago. We have to think about it. We have to consider whether some change or different application is possible. And right now, I would like to come back again to the energy topic, because it was said that energy is the important one and we should deliver. So let me share with you one of my case studies, which I did 3 years ago for one of the largest power distributor in the world, called Enel. I am not sure whether it's in India, but let's say it's very similar to BHEL in India and some of other Indian power supply companies. They run a sustainability challenge, and everybody of us can choose whatever we would like to choose. So I choose the electric power tower. Everybody knows them. There are billions and billions all across the globe. Very few knows that the highest one, the tallest one, is just 2 meters lower than the Eiffel Tower in France. and it is standing in China. But have you ever realized that the electric power tower is just a single purpose item? It is there just to carry the wires. Such a huge thing, such a billions of those things. Isn't it a little? And this came to my mind. And everybody of you knows there are wind power stations where the blades turn this way. So this is common. They are very tall and the blades are huge. But very few of you probably know there exists one which turns this way. It's called horizontal wind turbine. And just now imagine, this was my idea. Okay, we have the power tower, which is usually a steel construction, and inside is air, so it's nothing inside. What about if we put these inside? What will happen? I will have inside an electric power tower, small power station. And I make even the calculation. And if we give, not in every single one, if we give in every 1,000th one, 1 kilowatt power station, wind power station, which fits in majority, usually there fits much more, but we took just the minimum what we can put inside. Do you know how many electricity will be produced? It's equal to 26 nuclear power stations in the price of one. And that's exactly the difference. Why shouldn't we use what we have? And to be honest, I love to speak to people in India, because when I started the Age of Industry 5.0 in India, it was on August 21st, 2020. I have more than 1 million follow-ups and people from Tata and BHEL and many others connecting with me. I realized that India has one great advantage, not only great people and knowledge, but you have a great history. The history which goes much deeper than the history in the US or even in the Europe. And your forefathers built your cities, built ancient temples, and use a technology which even now we have big question marks in our heads, how it was done, how it was possible to do so. So let's go back to roots. And this is what Industry 5.0 does. We go back to roots. And because your roots are very deep, you can generate a lot of challenges, a lot of things which you do exactly as we did. You took the old knowledge and wisdom and you combine it with a new material. That's exactly what we should do. And this is why I really love to speak to students and to many others, because if we combine this knowledge, and I know that your Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, and even the new president, there is a lot of sustainability topics. Sorry, I cannot pronounce the names of all the projects because for me it's hard to pronounce, but India was the first one in the world which announced and just now, maybe I will not be exact on the year, I think 2015 or 16, they announced the 100 smart cities project. And it was India, it was not America, it was nowhere. India was the first one who in 2016 started to cover the water channels with the solar modules to decrease the evaporation, to generally use the evaporation to cool up the modules, to decrease the temperature of the water, to improve the life in the water channels generally, and to have electricity at the same time. California in US adopted this knowledge last year in December. And this is why you and advise all businesses in India, do not look at the role models to the US, do not look to Europe. You know, my government, which is currently our foreign minister is in India, and there is a trial to increase the connections between India and Czech Republic, even including the direct flights and so on. But please do not learn from us these things, because our government says that we are in Europe one of the best in recycling, that we recycle 92% of all our material. I'm sorry, that's a lie, because the reality is 12. There is 80% difference. Why? Because the waste industry persuade the government that sorting means if I throw the garbage in a right color bin, it's recycling, but that's not true. There is far away from the recycling. So let's do it together. Let's build the world together. Let's break the silos, which are not only on the level of this is waste industry, this is steel industry, this is car industry, and this is a silo of general management and middle management. No, these silos should be generally broken, all of them, including the borders. There is one thing which I would like to maybe ask the only person which I can talk right now with on the side of India. Do you know, Doctor, what is the who or what is the role model of Industry 5.0? There is only one.
Obviously, obviously you, in my knowledge. Because whatever I have surfed on the website, I just found your name only as a model, as an inspirator, and as a father of Industry 5.0.
I am the inspirator, maybe, but even for me, there is only one role model, and you will love it. It's nature. Because nature does not waste. Nature does not have silos, because the tree does not care whether the leaf will fall on the right or on the left, whether it will be eaten or it becomes soil. For nature, there is no waste. And that's exactly how I built Industry 5.0. And you know, I have to create a lot of things from zero. There was nothing. It was so-called, if you started something very new in your business, in your life, like first Facebook as a social network was a Blue Ocean Project. This is the official name. And my work was Blue Ocean Project as well. And there was even not the ocean, because nobody trusts that waste can be prevented. I was told so many times, Mr. Rada, you cannot pre-waste even a single kilo in a factory. 5 years later, I have 1 million metric tons prevented by myself. Today, I'm leading people in 111 countries to do so. I speak to presidents, chairmen, companies, waste pickers, because for me, I don't see the title which is behind. For me, there is nobody underprivileged or privileged. For me, every single one is human. And you know, here behind me, this man here on the portrait cut from the real vinyl record. His name was, or is, Zdeněk Leber. He was my granddad, and he passed away just a few months ago. He was 99 years, 9 months when he left. And he spent all his life educating others. And he is the great example that a man who did not let the thoughts deliver it to just a mobile asking Google or Siri what is the answer. No. He used all his time, his own brain. And when his wife left 11 years before him, he said to him, to keep my brain working properly, I will read every single day 1 full book. And he did it for 11 years. every single day he read a book. Can you imagine that in your life? And we have a long discussions where he look at the topics which my topics are not easy at all, what I do. And he look at it from the perspective of 100 years. And I look at it from the perspective of 50 years, half generally. I'm 51 currently. And that was so interesting to discuss topics, including politics, including nature, including development. And he said one very important thing, which I mentioned in my keynote today. School and education should not be a monologue. No, it should be a discussion. And you know, in many countries, in my country, during COVID, the education system and the teachers make one biggest mistake what they made. They did not ask the students how to use the WhatsApp and the other media to communicate. Because for the students, it was an everyday life already before COVID. But some of the teachers did not learn how to use it for the 2 years. So there was a big and significant drop in the quality of education, at least in my country. You know, I have 19 years old daughter. So she's right now in the last year, and she will probably go to the university. But I have it, I saw it. And I delivered my keynote to so many universities. So this one is my 401st keynote delivered to schools and universities. And trust me, for a man who does not have academic education myself, the first time when I was invited, it's a long time ago, and I was invited to the oldest university in my country, Charles University. I think it's something 14, whatever, 15, something like that. I do not remember exactly. And it was a very strange feeling. But at the same time, the message speaks to the students, I think, the same like I speak to you today. The last Friday, I spoke to more than 2,500 deans of universities and directors. And exactly, I used the E=mc² there. To see the faces of the people, how surprised, how carefully they listen, you see how they change. And this is exactly the moment where I would like to ask you, join me on the construction site of Wasteless World. It is you. I will not live in it, but I will have a peek in it. I know it. I know it already now. But it will be you who will live in there. And as good as you will make it, so good it will look like. And we cannot move everyone to a new planet, as Elon Musk is suggesting. No, even if his rocket will work, how many people will leave to Mars? 100? 1,000? And if they don't learn how to prevent waste happen, they will not survive on Mars, because they will not be able to go to the next supermarket to buy something new if I'm hungry. No, we have to buy it in the right quantity. And because the economy system is wrong, it's generally diverting from the volumes of produce to volumes of really consume and needed. We have to balance it back. And this is why I'm so happy that I am the advisor to your government generally in the topic of sustainability. And I'm the only foreigner advisor there. And I do advise many other governments, despite the fact, you know, I have one room in here, just one small room from which I'm working. My table is the size of 60 by 80 centimeters. And this is for 8 years or 10 years already. And so we don't need more. We need to use it better. And just yesterday, very fresh news. Yesterday, I have learned that some scientists in Netherlands, they find out a way how to 5-fold the life cycle of a Lion batteries. That's great. The other day, I have learned there is a company which produces a technology which combines wind and solar. So you put on your house with a flat roof, you put a construction in which are both. So you generally increase the yield. And there are so many great ideas. So let's use it, not misuse it. And that's what I have to say. And I don't know how much time we have because I do not watch the time. So, you know, I am with the time a friend, but.
It's really very amazing, Michael. It's really, you know, eye-opener talk with you. And I'm really thank you that you are here. And I'm just giving one, so sharing the token of regards from our university, IIMT University, that is placed in Meerut, Uttar Pradesh, India. And a very wonderful session you have delivered. You have aware people about the this 6R policies which we adopt for waste generation, and the reduction is much important in 6R technology. So by only adopting this reduction, we can minimize waste up to 50% that you have told in your presentation. And yes, obviously the people are going forward. Actually, I am reading one research from Lancet, that is the ecological, we are increasing the ecological footprint day by day. And it requires that we require one another planet to resettle all the these, because population is a very big problem, and that is actually the ultimate cause for over exploitation of all the resources and over exploitation of urbanization, industrialization, and many more inequalities which is directly proportional with the over increasing population of the world. So this is also the primary fact. We have to check this also. And this when you talk about the wasteless world, that is also very important in today's phenomena, because we are talking about the sustainable development goals, we are talking about the global climate change, we are talking about the many more things which are coming, that is actually directly related with the waste production ratio of the world. So it's really very means the time is really very precious, as you have as you told in your lecture. But I'm really truly I am saying here, it's very wonderful interaction with you, and I don't think so there's there will be a time limit, because we can continuous talk to you in a continuous mode. We can discuss a lot in various areas of environmental science and environmental biotechnology, and various subjects are directly associated with this topic. This is actually very important and on the point topic, and today's requirement of the world is this is actually. And you have also told about the initiatives of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. Actually, he also gave one statement, that is he started one movement in Geneva last year on Environmental Day, 5th June. That is the life movement. Connect the youth from the green, means go green approach. Means we have to adopt a green in our whole lifestyle. We adopt the green lifestyle. So this is also the concept which is directly related with this today's talk. So not taking much of time, actually I'm inviting our Deputy Dean, Dr. Gupta Sharma, to say a few words. Ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
You are audible, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You are audible, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shubha. Good afternoon, everyone. It has been such an honor to be a part of this wonderful event. On behalf of the School of Life Science Technology, IIMT University, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guest, Mr. Michel Rana. It was a wonderful lecture. Thank you so much, sir, to enlighten us with your valuable lecture. Thank you so much, sir. And my sincere thanks to our Dean, sir, and the head of the biotechnology department who handled the event throughout. A wide round of applause, and thanks to all the participants who made the event a memorable one. And finally, I would like to thank all of you present here for making the time to be with us and helping us to make this event a grand success. Thank you so much, one and all. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your kind words. And I just make one request to Michael Reda. Whenever you plan visit to India, we are happily invite you in a physical mode also, because this is the online mode. Our university really feel pride that if you accept our invitation to be present in physical mode whenever you visit to India. So this
I
is.
will. I will be very
Actually, it
happy
is
to
very
do
near.
so.
Yeah, it is very near. This Meerut is situated in National Capital Region and very near to Delhi. So means you can plan it in future.
For sure, because if I come to India, I will spend there at least 6 months because there is so much work to be done and so many I would like to meet up to the level of Narendra Modi, which you spoke about the statement just few weeks ago, I think, or days ago. I like the statement as Narendra Modi wear his blue vest generally made out of the plastic bottles.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was exactly the right statement to the people to understand. And very soon, India will be the most populated country in the world, because you already are on the level of beating China in the number of people.
Hope so.
No. It is yes. So generally, I was surprised that I expected it in few years, but at the moment, the global counter, which is used by the United Nations, indicated you are really very close. And what I would like to say, some universities generally include Industry 5.0 as a topic in the education system, and we are helping to that. And I am helping to deliver the keynotes and similar. So if you would like to, we can work on that.
Sure, surely. This is the wonderful suggestion, and definitely we will incorporate in our subject line also, this Industry 5.2.
And what I would like to do, I will send you the waste prevention legislation, because I do not have it only in English, but I have it translated in Hindi already and Gujarati, if I pronounce it correctly. So there are 2 languages, but if there will be someone who translates it, because I know in India, there are so many languages. And for me, why I deliver it, it's because, I'm speaking from the heart, but I cannot speak to everyone. So if there will be someone, the students or so, everyone is welcome to join Industry 5.0. They cannot become hero. They cannot become the ambassador. There is only one ambassador in one country. And still today is Shifrao Chala, who is the founder of 3R Zero Waste. I will connect you to him as well.
Yeah, sure, sir. Actually, definitely we want to connect with him also. Definitely we want. Actually,
there are many heroes, and everyone can become hero. So I will send you the conditions. It's very simple. It's 1 page, 12 lines generally, and everyone can become the hero. And then you will get access to all the information, all the codes. So if anybody would like to connect with me, please do it. The best way is through LinkedIn. You have my profile, please share it. I will accept the invitations, but I cannot send them because there is only weekly quota of, I think, 200 invitations, and I'm usually out of the quota every Thursday because I have so many people. But if somebody will send, I will accept. And this is the way, because there is only one way how to build a wasteless world, together in harmony.
Yeah.
And this is what I am so happy that I was on your college, and I will be really happy to be there in a physical form and to meet all of you, discuss, and really, I will enjoy the time. But I cannot promise that it will be this year. I will try, but there is still a lot of to do.
Whenever, sir, whenever. And congratulations. In the prior, I am giving you the congratulations for your next lecture in Confederation of Indian Industry, CII.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Very important, and kindly share the link for that too. And thank you so much. So I am ending the session for today. And yes.
Let me wish everyone one. This is the greeting which I give at the end. Let your time be free of waste and wasting in all its forms. Stay safe and free, because these 3 together will help you to live meaningful life.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So nice, so kind words. you gave for our students. Thank you so much. And I'm going to end this live session for now.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir.